Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. So this is basically going to be like a match review slash player ratings, or match review and player ratings for the Wolves game, which was a few days ago now. I was planning on filming this video a little bit like a few days ago, two days ago, yeah, but I ended up getting ill again. I have another cold. It's been like a month since my last cold, and do you know what? I don't know what's going on. Like, it's been a month. Like, I don't think I've ever had a cold, and like within a month I've got another one. So that's great, and I don't even know what's going on anymore. Like, I was debating whether to like just to sleep. But no, I thought I'd film this video because I need to go out there. It's like currently international break, so like I do have time. Like, it's not, you know. But I feel like the longer I leave it, then I don't know, it's gonna be harder to film. But you know, obviously Spurs did lose 2-1. And the fact that we lost 2-1 when we were leading the game 1-0 for so long, like 90th minute we conceded our first goal. And honestly, like, I was nervous. I was a nervous wreck as it was. Like, I was literally curled up in bed. I had my hoodie on, and like, I was just like so nervous. I was like curled up in my quilt, and I was like, oh my god, can this game just end? And we ended up conceding the first goal, and just like, for fuck, like, it's fallen, but like, just like, for goodness sake, like, we were leading, like, yes, we weren't playing at our best. Yes, Wolves were probably better attacking wise, and like this, let's be honest, Spurs did have their chances to get a second goal, but we were defending well. Ben Davies was like probably one of the man of the matches, one of the mans of the match. That's better. But no, we ended up conceding, and I'm thinking, oh my god, what's gonna, like, the added time, like, have we got enough time to get a winner maybe, like what's going on? And you're like 6 out of minutes, you're okay, thinking, okay, like, it's like, if Spurs attack a little bit more, maybe potentially we could get that winner. It's getting towards, you know, it's getting like nearer that 6 minute mark. You're thinking, okay, at this point, let's take a point, move on. Let's just get that point. Yes, it's not the result we wanted, and yes, we were like leading for so long that a point is just like not great, but like, you know, it's a point away from Wolves. Like, Man City came in a lot. I think like Man City was against Wolves, but I can't remember if it was probably Wolves place or Man City place, but it's probably Wolves place. Yeah, you know, it happened to Man City. Like, they lost here. Like, they just get a point and get out. No, Spurs just could not do that. They just could not get out of that game with just like a point. They couldn't do that. So, you know, it's getting towards, you know, the seventh minute. Spurs, you know, the back line are just passing it around at the back, you know. Didn't decide, oh, you know what, we could just boot it along, you know, because we've got a point here. Like, we don't want to mess it up. No, see, Spurs could not do that. We ended up giving away a free kick. Okay, a free kick. And instantly you think, okay, like a free kick. Like, we've got to switch on here. You know, we've got to make sure that we're aware of all the cross around us. Like, we've got to make sure that we're protecting this. Like, we could come away with a point. Wolves take a quick free kick. And no, that we couldn't protect it. We couldn't, because the last kick of the game, they get their second goal. And honestly, I was so pissed. Like, to go from leading for like 87 minutes, let's be real here. We were leading for like 87 minutes. 87 minutes. Not only do we concede an equaliser, but we concede a last minute winner to Wolves after we were winning for 87 minutes. And somehow we come away with another loss, back-to-back losses in the Premier League. Like, I can't deal with this situation, and it's just so frustrating. Like, don't get me wrong, Davis, I don't think he should be a starter, like, genuinely, but he actually played well. Can't say the same for Dyer. Like, I don't think Dyer made a mistake with the first goal. I don't know what he's doing. Like, he booted the ball, went out for a throw-in, and I don't know. But it's like, when Dyer needs to like be fully concentrated, like this, like imperative that you're concentrating, he can't do it. He just can't switch on at those important moments. And that's why Dyer, as much as, you know, yes, he's been like a good servant sometimes, like occasionally, like, I don't even know, like, but he has to go. Like, there's some, like, I'm not using Dyer as a scapegoat. I'm not saying that, but I'm just think we've seen it all before. This back line was the same, like, apart from like Porro, it's the same as last season. And we conceded a hell of a lot of goals last season from this back line. Similar team to last year. And, like, obviously missing basically a whole back line apart from Porro. Van de Ven out, Madison out, Romero out, Udogie out, like, and having to bring, like, there was no creativity in that midfield. Højbjerg had to come in, and there was just no creativity. Like we started so well, like we got that goal in like the first 3 minutes, and you're thinking, okay, yeah, we've got a few injuries, got a few suspensions, but from this first goal, we can see that we can actually perform with these players. We get that goal, Johnson's first goal for Spurs. Like, I was really happy for him. Like, I was really happy, and it's like it was a good move and everything. And it's like, it was like, oh, like from that goal, we don't have players missing. Like, we can perform without them. Can we? Can we perform without them? Because after that, yeah, we had a few chances. Johnson had a chance. He should definitely score. Should have scored from. Lascelles had a chance. But realistically, we just sort of sat back, and it was like rewatching Conte ball all over again of last season. I was thinking, have we got, like, is Ange in disguise of, like, Conte? Like, what's going on? Like, is Conte back? Is Conte back? Because watching that game of football, it was not Ange ball. Like, apart from that first goal, the first 3 minutes, like, we were playing well, and after that, it was like Conte ball, where you score and you protect that goal, and you protect that lead you have. I'm just like, we haven't got the defenders for that. Like, yes, Ben Davies and Eric Dyer can have good moments. Like, don't get me wrong, Ben Davies actually had a good game, which annoyingly we lost, but he actually performed well, to be fair to him. But we don't have the defenders to concentrate for all that time. Like, we don't, it's not like having Romero and Van de Ven at the back. Like, they are, like, quality. And Dyer, Davies, Emerson, average. I'm sorry, like, as good as Emerson has been recently, he can't be left back with those two defenders. Like, it just doesn't work. Porro, like, played well. What we got from Porro is expect from Porro. Vicario as well, like, he had 8 for the last, like, those 2 goals we conceded. And you can see at the end of the game, I've seen a clip going around of Vicario at the end of the game, and he just looks so pissed, and, like, it's like, that's how we feel. Vicario just gets it. And yeah, I don't know. I can't go into these games, like these last, like, Villa and Man City, and just watch Dyer, Ben Davies as a 2 centre-backs. Like, I can't do it. I refuse. Like, I can't watch that. It's like a car crash waiting to happen. It's happened. And somehow we need to win against Villa, because otherwise they'll go above us and we'll go out the top 4. Like, we're going to drop. But that's the game we need to win. Yes, we're at home and everything, and we don't have creativity, like, much creativity, unless you put Lascelles in, which I really think Ange should have done with Lascelles, because he's more creative than Højbjerg, Basuma, and Sarr. Basuma suspended for the Villa game as well. Like, he just keeps getting better and better. Like, your doggy should be back. So it's like our defence is slightly better, and I feel like we perform better, but we can't rely on Dyer and Davies as our centre backs. We can't do it until January. Like, I'm sorry, but, like, yes, Romero will be back after Man City game, like, fair. But Romero and Dyer, last season. Let's remember last season. We need to remember last season so it doesn't happen this season, because we started the season so well with, like, you know, 10 games in, it was going so well, like 8 wins, 2 draws. Chelsea game happens, just completely messed up, 2 injuries to 2 vital players at once, and it's like, oh my God, what is going on? But going forwards, I don't want to see Romero next to Dyer. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. But I feel like it's going to happen. I feel like Ange, I don't know who else he can play. Like, Phillips, I don't think is ready. And it's hard, like, to rely on, like, an 18-year-old to come in and just, you know, he hasn't played a Premier League game. And, like, it's just, like, you can't throw him in there and like, it just wouldn't be fair. And I don't want to knock his confidence if like he makes a mistake or something happens. It's just like, you don't want to throw a kid into the back line and be like, yeah, you need to be our saviour. Like, we can't do that. But then we can't have Dyer, we can't have Davis, like, because it just doesn't work. They can't play the way Ange wants to play. And we could see that against Wolves. Apart from like the first goal, which I keep mentioning, but it was a really good goal, and it was a good goal. But some of these players just can't play the way Ange wants to play. And it's like we go back into what was happening last season. And it's like the slowness, and like there's no fast pace, there's no creativity, and it's like we're transformed back into last season, and it's just so frustrating to see. I'm just like, oh my god, like what the heck am I watching? And it was dreadful. Obviously our worst performance of the season. And I don't want to keep using injuries as an excuse and like as like a problem. It's like, but it is when you have Romero and Van der Ven and you drop, and the level drop to Darren Davis. Like there's clearly going to be a difference. Like there's clearly the levels are so like far. Like Romero and Van der Ven are up here. Like, and having them as like backup options just isn't. It just isn't good. And that performance, like I can't explain it. The way we lost, the way we performed, apart from like the first 3 minutes, you'd be like, what the fuck will happen? How did you end up losing that game? And I saw something else was like, no team has like been winning for that long and end up losing the game. But of course it's Spurs, so they have to go back to like a little bit of Spursiness. Do you know what I mean? And it's just, oh, I'm so frustrated. I'm still frustrated now. And I feel like I'm getting even more frustrated with the situation, because just thinking about the Villa game and thinking about Darren Davis at the back against Villa. Like, Villa are performing really well this season. And, like, if we're going into that game with them back line, like, I'm scared about what might happen. No creativity. Like, I feel like this also has to come in. Like, who's going to come and pursue Højbjerg? Like, midfielder against Villa, it's going to be Højbjerg, Skip and Sarr. I refuse. Højbjerg in for Basuma. And then Lo Celso comes in. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. I still can't get over it. Like, oh my god, I don't even know what the performance was. Just like, you could take a match review from like last season and just put it in for this, because that's what it felt like I was watching. And I kind of underestimated how bad we could be without these injuries, and like with these injuries and suspensions. Like, I actually had hope that we'd come out winning. I was like, yeah, we've had these injuries, but it's Ange, you know, different style of play. Like, yeah, Davis won't have to defend as much. Like, we sat back after we scored 1 goal. Definitely like last season. My score prediction was right, 2-1. It just was the opposite side as to who I predicted to win. And it's just like, what the heck is going on? I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know how to like comprehend. Like, it's been a few days now, but I still don't understand how we lost that game. Like, switching off after like 87 minutes of performing well. Like, I can't. Honestly, it's so ridiculous on so many levels. I'm just like, what the heck is happening? I saw that positivity and like the way we're playing, like everything was good, and like we were like 12th in the league, and now we're 4th. 2 points, well, 2 points from top, but like I was not expecting us to go on and win the league. Like, I was not expecting that. But I just thought our like run of form would last a bit longer than 10 games, and like these injuries have come at this time where it's like we've got all these games coming up, we've got big games like Man City, like literally 2 games away, and it's just like Newcastle, West Ham, and like, yes, Romero, Udogie should be back, but it's like Van der Ven, who has been outstanding, Maddison, who's also been outstanding. It's just like, what? I don't know. And it's just so frustrating. Like, top 4 is still like my target. Like, I still would like us to fight for top 4. I think we still can do that. We just need to invest in January. Obviously, the rumours are that we won't have much money, which is not really surprising, but as long as like we can spend well and bring in at least 3 or 4 players, like, that's what I'm hoping for. Another centre back, obviously, maybe even 2, who knows. Another creative player, and And, you know, whoever Ange wants, Levy better get them, because that's the only way it's going to work if Ange is backed. And we know what Daniel Levy's like. Him and backing managers just shouldn't go in the same sentence. Just shouldn't, really. Okay, player ratings. Oh, this is going to be great. This is, you know, going to be good. Vicario, I'll give him a 7. Couldn't do anything about 2 goals that were conceded, and he actually stopped it from being worse. Yeah, there's a few missed passes, and like he was a bit sometimes nervous on the ball, but that's probably because the defenders in front of him, because you would not be confident with the defenders you had in front of you, so I can't exactly really blame him for that. But yeah, 7. Dyer. Oh, Dyer. I don't know why I'm laughing, because it is not funny. I just like to laugh through the pain. For me, Dyer, probably a 4. I would say the 2 goals were just directly his fault. I feel like he contributed to the first one by giving a throw in. I don't know why he just kicked it out of play, like booted it out of play. Like, if you're going to kick it long, at least make sure it stays in play, or at least goes further down to the other side of the pitch, so they don't really have like an easy throw in. And it's like it was a good finish from the first goal. Don't get me wrong, the player finished well, but that goal would not have happened if Dyer did not boot it out of play. And, you know, second goal, lost concentration, switched off. Quite like most of the players that quite switched off. But yeah, Dyer thought, I can't have him at the back anymore. Like, I can't deal with it. Like, I thought, you know what, he played well against Chelsea. You know, he had that, made some blocks and just like played actually all right. And you're thinking, short term, maybe he can do something. No, just no. On the other hand, Davis, I'll probably give him a 7. I felt like he performed really well. Probably one of them, like the man of the match, like I said. It was either between him, Porro, and Vicario. So I feel like those 3 were probably like 3 of the best players on the pitch that day. But Davis, you know, he made some really like good blocks, and like his awareness was really good, and he was like his awareness of what was happening, awareness to like give it, like boot it out for a corner, like a throw in, and like defended really well. It's just a shame that we could not hold on at the end, but I felt like, yeah, that does not mean I want Davis to carry on playing going forward. Like, I feel like we've seen what we can see from Davis, and the quality is just not enough, unfortunately. Emerson. I'm gonna give Emerson a 5. I don't think he was terrible defensively, but going forward, he just does not have that same attacking threat as Udogie has. And, you know, defensively, can't really fault him that much. I don't think this was his best defensive display, like, at all. You know, constantly losing the ball, the ball bouncing off him, and like just getting into that midfield, and it was just like couldn't really pass it, and just keep getting the ball away, that kind of thing. So it wasn't the greatest performance from Emerson. I feel like going forwards, hopefully when Udogie's back, Emerson will be back on the bench, and yeah, he just as like a left back or right back. Defensively, he's alright, but going forward, he just does not have that same effect as the other 2 do have, and it's just frustrating to see him when Udogie's missing. So yeah, Emerson a 5. Porro, I'll probably give a 7 as well. I felt like he really stepped up and like was one of the best performers on the pitch, defensively, going forwards. Was he? I think he was the player who passed the ball to Johnson. I feel like Kulusevski sort of made that part like kind of like frontward pass and sort of like Porro, and I feel like he crossed it. So yeah, Porro performed really well, like a 7. It's just a shame that we couldn't attack more. But I feel like he's just one of those players that really trying really hard, and you see the passion from him, and he feels what the fans feel, just a bit like Vicario as well. And I feel like and I feel like Porro is night and day between him and Emerson, and you can just see that from what they can both bring. And And yeah, it's just annoying that we won the losing side in the end. Moving into midfield, Højbjerg I'd probably give a 5 as well. This was not a good game from him, and I don't really know what he was meant to offer. Like, yeah, it was like a few nice passes here and there, a few nice touches, a few forward passes through the lines and everything, kind of. But other than that, really, he was more of a hindrance than anything. You know, the constant give the ball away, the constant like misplaced passing, and like wasn't really a threat going forward as we would have liked. Like, we've missed Maddison massively, and you're hoping that one of the midfielders can just like sort of step up and be that sort of, obviously not the same ability as what Maddison has, but you just like to see one of them step up and think, oh, we're gonna go a bit more forward here, you know, we're gonna be a bit more attacking. It's what we need. Like, we need to be on the front foot. That's the way we play. That's the way Andrew wants us to play. But Højbjerg just sort of offered nothing in that aspect, and it was just really frustrating to see. Again, I don't say it was terrible, but it just was not good enough, and yeah, it's just annoying. And obviously he's going to have to play next game because Bissouma's suspended. We're going to get up to Bissouma, but yeah, really disappointing. Bissouma, a 6. Yeah, Bissouma, since probably the Arsenal game, or maybe even maybe in the Luton game when he got sent off, but he just hasn't been performing that well since that, like, when he's come back from his suspension. And maybe it's because he's been on that, like, booking. It's like, you get one more yellow card, you'll be suspended. Maybe that's why he hasn't been performing to his level. And maybe that's sort of what's holding him back from actually, like, being what he was doing in those first few games. But yeah, this was not a good game from Bissouma. I felt like he didn't really show what he can do and go, like, keeping hold of the ball and like being pressure resistant. I felt like he was losing it quite a lot and just wasn't making those bursting runs with the ball like he was at the beginning of the season. It was just, yeah, it was not great from Bissouma. Obviously he got booked, so now he's suspended for the Liverpool game, which is I don't know whether, I do think it's better that he's suspended for Villa than Man City, because obviously Man City's going to be really tough anyways, but like Villa, I don't know. I feel like both, it's a disaster that he's suspended, but I probably would rather it be Villa than Man City, just saying. Or maybe it's better if it be Man City, because like Man City game I'm not expected to get anything out of, but Villa game, like with Bissouma there, we could have probably, I don't know. Either way, we're gonna have to win. And yeah, I don't know, it's hard to be upbeat in these kind of videos. Sarr as well, probably a 6. Again, the midfield just was not great against Wolves. Could not control a barn door. The lack of control, like the first half, we did control possession. We controlled the first, like, majority of the first half, and like midfield was part of that. But the second half, we looked like the I don't know, we just looked lackluster. The midfield was just non-existent, realistically. Just constantly sitting back and like not going for it, like attacking, like the pressing just wasn't there. I mean, I feel like Son and like the front three were like trying to press, but the rest of the team just could not press to save our lives, and it was just ridiculous. And I was like, what am I watching? It honestly felt like Conte had come back and we were performing under Conte, and I don't know what it is, but like, and I know these players, like I've said, cannot play handball. Some of them like just can't do it, but you're expecting at least a bit more, and they can give like 100% effort, 100% commitment to like the cause and whatnot, but they're just not good enough to play handball, and that is what we've realised. And I feel like going forwards, some of these players just can't be in the side, and it's frustrating because we don't have quality like squad players, backup players and whatnot. And it's just kind of frustrating. Like, we could get to January with no injuries, then reinvest in the squad and like get like players and sell some players that clearly are not doing the job that they're meant to be doing and like can't play handball. But now we're having to rely on these certain players to have like other managers down in these big games where we need points, where we need to keep our momentum going, we need to keep going forward. Like, apart from these past 2 games, unbelievable start, unbelievable. Like, to be 26 points, you know, second first in the league, like no one's expecting that. Nobody. Everyone was expecting us to finish bottom half, and like once Kane left, oh, it's gonna be a disaster. Like, you're not gonna score goals. Like, who's gonna get your goals? Like, 30 goals a season. Like, who's gonna get that? And then to see where we were before the Chelsea game, before all that shit happened, we sort of need to keep that up, and we sort of need to keep that gap between like top 4 and like the 6th place, like, because top 4 has to be the target. And yeah, it's just annoying. And like these midfield just couldn't control the game. We sort of gave up control, we sort of just wasn't going for it, just starting to play safe. And I just, obviously these were not Ange's tactics, and he was like pissed on the sidelines seeing that our pressing wasn't there, like just allowing Wolves to have the ball, and it's just like we're sitting back trying to defend a 1-0 lead when realistically with the defence we have, we'll be lucky not to concede. So it just didn't make sense as to why the players decided to play it safe and decide to just sit back and try and not concede, like instead of going for that second goal, which I feel like if we got that second goal, like whether it been like near after our first goal or like early second half or whatever, if we got that second goal, I feel like they would have killed the game. Yeah, it's just frustrating, annoying that we could not control the game in the second half. Son, I'll probably give Son a 5. I felt bad for Son because the lack of service was telling. Like, he did not get no service whatsoever. He had that one chance, he's surrounded by 3 players and like he shot at one of the players, like, on that, no service. And just, you know, he was trying his pressing, like everything. He was probably one of those players that were pressing, and he struggled to get into the game a lot. We didn't really see him, he didn't really have the ball, and it wasn't a great performance from Son, if we're being honest. Like, obviously lack of service leads into that, but also just in general his play and just sort of losing the ball and everything. Though one thing I would like to mention though, was his name Craig Dawson. The way he was all over Son in that game, the one where he literally got slapped in the face twice and like pushed over, wasn't given as a foul. So apparently you can just like slap someone in the face now and it like not be punished. Like, please, please, please. And then the second challenge he made on him, stand on his groin and everything and like all that, I'm just like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, yeah, he gets booked for it. Okay, cool. Cool. But look, I just want to quickly mention the ref was shocking. Oh my god. The decisions he was making was like, what the fuck am I watching? Honestly, like, what is this? Anyway, so I just mentioned that. Obviously that's not like the main reason we lost the game, but you know, it did play a part in why it was just a shit result, shit performance, shit everything. And yeah, Son didn't really play well. Johnson, I'd probably give a 7 as well. I feel like he played well for the majority of the time he was on the pitch, and obviously getting his first goal, really happy for him with that. And yeah, it was just kind of frustrating to see how after we scored that goal we just sort of dropped back a few yards and just wasn't manageable. And it's just annoying, frustrating, and like, he was another player that's kind of trying to press and everything. Kusak on his side as well. I'll probably give it a 6. And hopefully we'll learn from this game. Hopefully going forward we'll try and play the Ange ball way. We'll try and play more pressing, more attacking, more up on the front foot. Try and score more than 1 goal instead of sitting back and try and protect it, like we've seen with that defence, like literally last season. Does not work, and it's just frustrating. And you know, the subs come on. I thought Bentancur really tried. It was good to see him again on the pitch as well, getting his minutes up. And obviously he's not fully fit yet, so it wasn't like his best performance, but he definitely was up there trying. Obviously Hill came on as well. Couldn't really offer anything really going forward. It was just kind of lackluster, but you know, I'm gonna give him benefit of the doubt because he hasn't really played that much. And I feel like he needs more minutes in order to sort of get his confidence up and like start showing what he can offer. Thought Lo Celso came on, he was bright, had a lot more energy. Obviously he had that chance on goal, which would have been outstanding, like goal, but it was a good save. And I feel like he should have started. I feel like he offers that more, you know, creativity and going forward and attacking wise, and I feel like that is his game. So it would have probably made more sense for him to start. But obviously the only concern is like his injury problems and everything. So who knows? And should we read into why Ange didn't start Lo Celso? And instead with Højbjerg, I don't know. Maybe there's something in that. Maybe he doesn't really trust him. I don't know. But obviously I feel like Lo Celso has started to get Villa, and hopefully we can see a bit more quality from him going forward. And yeah, I think that was all the subs. I think, yeah, Bentancur, Hill, Lo Celso. Yeah, I'll probably give us like the 6s. I feel like I can't really give them much higher than that. Overall, just a bit of disappointing result, really. You know, I honestly thought we would come out of there with like a 1-0 win, and like we got so close to that 1-0 like win that was like 6 minutes away, and like we just could not hold on at the end. I feel like some of these players haven't played a lot of football, so maybe that sort of leads into it as well, but it's just really frustrating how we actually lost that game. And yeah, we're 4th. We're, you know, got 26 points still. The gap is really close. I feel like the points in top 4 really close. Top 8 probably is really close as well. Results did not go away this time, whereas with the Chelsea game they sort of did. You know, with Liverpool getting a draw, Arsenal losing, and everything. So it's like you win some, you lose some, but it's just really disappointing to see how we like faltered and like back-to-back losses, and it's just but hopefully with Udogie back we can put in a bit more of a average performance and get a win against Villa, because that's imperative. We need to get a win. I think we can do it, but it's just a question of like our defence, and like if we score early, don't sit back and just defend, because with our defence, the way we switch off occasionally and like everything just doesn't work. It does not work. But yeah, guys, that is my match review and my play ratings for the Wolves game. Sorry it's like a bit late and everything, but you know, what can you do? So after this, obviously it's the international break now. I'm gonna try and see if I can set up a career mode. I haven't really like decided. I'm gonna do like a live stream or like pre-record and everything, like record it, like upload it. Haven't really decided that yet. I'm gonna be honest, my FIFA skills are not great. Like semi-pro, I feel like I'm on. I perform on semi-pro, like the difficulty level. I haven't tried like world class or like legendary. Like I just feel like ultimate. Like I don't know what the highest one is, but I don't know how good I would be, and I just can't defend, just like Tottenham can't defend with all these injuries. I don't know. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna see if I can set up and like everything. But so that's what I'm gonna try to do during this international break, and then I'm gonna try and find a way to carry on when football comes back. But it's gonna be difficult because I've like my reactions as well, which I need to start like reacting to. But because I've been ill, it's like I kind of don't want to like react, because I feel like I can't be 100%. And I want to put my 100% of my reactions. Like I don't want it to be like lackluster. Like I don't want it to be like a Tottenham performance like against Wolves. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like I had to make this video because it's sort of like a time limit sort of kind of thing, and like so you get it out there and everything. But yeah, so career mode reactions will be coming back. I'm gonna try. Hopefully I'm not ill for too long, because I can't cope with that. I can't cope. I'm literally the worst person when I'm ill. Like I just can't deal with it. But be sure to like, comment and subscribe, or let me know down below what your player ratings were, and if you agree with mine, and like what lineup would you like to see against Villa? That is the question that we want to know. That's the question we need to know. Like, what lineup would you go with? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you guys soon. Maybe for career mode, fifth career mode, who knows, we'll see. But I'll see you guys soon. Bye guys.